Hey, this is HQ. HQ with the wife code. With the wife code. Another entertainment value going for you today. All kinds of things. Today's subject is called silent divorces. Now, we know what silent divorces are. Everybody knows what they are. This old couple been married all this long time. They were together a long time ago, but now they not, but they live with other people. Never got a divorce. That's a silent divorce, right? So we'll define that silent divorce, where a couple remains legally married but emotionally disconnected and disengaged from each other. Relationship may appear intact from the outside, but from the inside, we know there's a lack of communication, intimacy, support, and they don't share a life together. So we've seen this a lot, especially in the older couples, right? The whole point is there is no emotional connection between these two anymore. Okay, characteristics of this silent divorce: little to no emotional connection, absence of physical intimacy, poor level communication, living separate lives, avoiding any kind of conflict, headache, arguments, no shared goals or dreams. Wow. A lot of reasons why this happened. It's emotional neglect. It's a lot of reasons why people get into relationships and stay in the relationships after things happen to them in a relationship, and they say, "I'm not going to try." One of those partners stops. One or both of those partners stops nurturing each other. They stop showing up for the needs of the person, and this leads to that detachment and loneliness I was talking about yesterday. Right? People have that all the time. There's a lot of lack of communication between these two. Conversations become transactional, and then any kind of meaning or thought behind it goes away. It's just do this, do that, do this, do that. People get busy. Schedules get busy, stressful, lifestyles, work, parenting, you know, other responsibilities consume them. So they don't have time and energy, and leaves little time for relationships. Unresolved conflicts turn into big, gigantic chasms. They avoid conflict, avoid difficult conversations, or letting it fester, letting the fights fester, letting the hurt build up. They don't touch each other. They don't have sex with each other. They don't have affection with each other. Then they learn to have partners outside of the relationship. And that physical distance becomes the bigger distance. Then over time, the goals, the values, money, directions, the way they want to go changes. They take each other for granted. Complacency can set in. The effort to keep the relationship alive, I ain't trying to do nothing. She ain't trying to do nothing. I ain't trying to do nothing. We can just forget it, right? A lot of people run into relationships like this, and they be on the road to that, right? Also, trauma. I keep forgetting trauma and life changes, grief, illness, family, loss. Both partners may shut down. This may happen. And then people might really think that divorce is going to happen, or they go into the relationship thinking divorce is going to happen. A lot of people stay together because of financial dependence and cultural religious beliefs. Like right now, more than anything, a lot of people need to stay together, try to make things work, make things tolerable, because where money is going to get tight. Money is going to be real tight soon enough. And then some people have affairs, emotional affairs, physical affairs, all those kind of things. When emotional needs are not met outside, sometimes men feel like emotional needs are the same as physical needs when it comes to sex, and then they want to have sex, and then they have sex with somebody outside the relationship, then the relationship is over. Wow. But you got to address these silent divorce criteria. You got to address it. Because there's got to be an intentional effort to stay together. Intentional effort to rebuild emotional, physical, and intimacy between two people. Okay. You have to have that open and that honest communication. You got to start by talking again, breaking the silence with open, honest, gentle, straightforward communication. Not just about chores or kids or a car or your job. It's got to be about how do people feel, how they feel, what they want to feel, how they want to get along in a relationship. Use the I statements to avoid blame, right? And then definitely try to do some therapy. A trained therapist can help you identify the root causes of those problems, root causes of why you guys got disconnected, and guide you back into productive communication. Therapy is a safe space for both of y'all. So you need to utilize that. You got to rebuild the emotional intimacy between you two. Share your days, highs and lows, work ethic, what you're doing at work, what you're doing when you're not at work. What are you doing that brings you happy, joy? Excuse me. All of these things. You got to start talking about these things in order to get your relationship back on track. If you want the relationship back on track, start touching each other again. Touching each other then leads to physical sex or intimacy or sexual surprises, right? Start small, hugging people, touching a person's hand, touching their back, doing all those things, which can lead to sexual intercourse. Then intimacy follows after intercourse, because usually people, when they have a physical connection, or then the emotional comes along. Excuse me, right? Then you got to schedule quality time with each other. If you're not scheduling quality time with each other, I don't know what you're doing. Date nights, weekend getaways, all those kind of things. You got to make time for each other. Time has to be important. No phones, no distractions, just time. Figure out whether your goals, religious values, or anything like that still align. Talk about stuff that matters to both of you. Your goals may have shifted. Reestablish shared dreams, hopes, wants, needs, desires that you want to do with each other. And then you start doing these things every day. Daily check-ins, nightly check-ins, weekly check-ins. Then you start building trust. Warmth comes back. Closeness comes back. You get used to seeing someone talk about their day. Get used to talking about other people's day. You talking about your day. And then you work on each other. How do you bring yourself close to each other? You have to work on yourselves individually. It usually, when you have a silent divorce, it's usually somebody who needs to work on themselves individually, and they have internal issues going on, and those internal issues have magnified so much that they cannot see themselves dealing with another person as of yet. Burnout, low self-esteem, you name it. Encourage personal growth between amongst each other for yourselves, individual therapy, all that kind of stuff. And then once you've done all of this, try to acknowledge what the problem was. The hardest thing is admitting that you have a problem. The hardest thing is saying I'm an alcoholic out loud and then doing something about it. It's okay to say we're not okay. It's okay to say that something's wrong with me and I need to address it first. I mean, that's a very powerful step. Okay. The whole point is to not normalize being distant from your spouse. Don't normalize being alone. Don't tell yourself that this is how it has to be. There's a lot of people in marriages that don't get touched. See, that's one of the kind of marriages that I never wanted to have, is to be in a marriage and I never get touched. To be in a marriage and I never get thought about. To be in a marriage and I'm alone in that marriage. You should never settle to be lonely in a marriage, because intimacy and companionship is the point of you getting married. What was the point of you getting married if you sit there and you're lonely? What's the point in being in a relationship if you're accepting the fact that you're lonely in a relationship? Accepting the fact that you feel alone, that they make you feel alone, that they don't make you feel wanted, desired, needed. Okay? There's a lot of things people can do instead of sliding into that silent marriage or silent divorce where nobody says anything. Oh, I just didn't think you cared about me. You got to acknowledge that problem. You got to acknowledge the fact that you have such internal discourse for yourself. That's difficult for you to get out of yourself and then be in a relationship. And it may not necessarily be one person's problem or two person's problem. It could be one person's problem and one spouse is standing over at the side waiting for them to say something, waiting for them to come back to the marriage. Because they love you so much, they want you to come back to the marriage. But no way if you're going to be able to come back to that marriage if you don't address what the problem is inside yourself. And a lot of people have internal things that bring them further away from their spouse. And this is how people end up alone. I think I'm alone in this situation. I think I'm alone in this marriage. I don't know what to do. You emotionally neglect a person, they will leave emotionally. When you don't have communication between two people, that one person that knows communication is important and the other person that doesn't practice that communication skill, they're going to leave. I get it. Stressful lives, busy lives, unresolved conflict. I understand all of that, but that needs to be addressed if you want to stay married. And most people want to stay married. Most people want to be in a relationship and they want to do it. I mean, Fee and me were two totally different people. He was a person that didn't like to talk. He just liked to do. Like men say they do, and they just be there and they do things, and then they expect me to understand. That's man talk. But he had to understand, and I had to explain to him. I had to get him to understand when we first got married that I'm a person that you got to talk to me, and I need to see all the sides in order to make the determination. Because if I can't see your side, then I'm going to be upset. And then we're going to have unresolved conflicts. And this is what ends marriages, when you don't communicate or you don't resolve things. We never lost our physical intimacy. He was chasing me even when I was 50. I don't think we ever went a week without having sex unless we weren't in the same state together. I don't think. And we never lost the fact that we wanted to do the same thing, raise children, make a family, get them out the house. We couldn't wait. I was so happy when we got done with all the kids and the kids were over the age of 18. And we were like, hey, we got all them kids out the house. We got the kids out of the house. The kids are 18. We good. And then he died. Then he died 6 months later. So we never got to the point where we could enjoy each other as adults, where we didn't have to deal with children, to see if we really had things in common, to see if we really wanted to be together, to see. I mean, I'm pretty sure that we would have stayed together. I'm pretty sure if he was alive, we would still be together. Because, he never did anything out of ordinary, neither did I. We never went on the route of this silent divorce thing with no emotional connection. We were always connected. We're physically connected, always had intimacy. Early on, when he wanted to be rah as a communicator, I was like, I don't respond to that. I don't respond to that. I just tune out. I'm telling you right now, I'm not listening to you. I'm not listening to you. You have to say it a certain way for me to be receptive, right? So he learned to talk to me the way I understood it. And I don't expect other people to get that, but I'm just saying, he learned to speak to me. He learned to speak Ace Q's talk or Ace Q's language. And I learned to speak his. And we definitely made sure that we didn't run into conflicts with each other, or we resolved them before they came along, right? And the whole point is to live parallel lives with your spouse. If you're not living a parallel life with your spouse and they doing their thing and you doing your thing, that intimacy is going to go away, because you don't need that person. Then you don't need that person in your life. You don't need that person to do anything for you, because you're living separate individual life, like a roommate. Nobody wants to live like a roommate. I don't think most people want to live like a roommate. I think most people want to live together, have relationships together, be relational together. Okay. But both partners got to nurture that emotional neglect, and you cannot neglect a person in a relationship. Otherwise, that relationship is going to die. It's never going to be the same. And this is how people have silent divorces. They live in the house together. They do things together, but they do things for the house, for the group, Nobody wants to live just to contribute to the group. Nobody. Because I remember when the men came out with this thing, the men on here on the online kept saying, "Oh, men do stuff for duty. They still up for duty. They do for duty. They stay for this." I don't want no man to stay with me because out of duty. I don't want no man to stay with me out of duty. If you don't have a passion for me, if you don't wake up every morning, and looking at this beautiful face, if you don't wake up this face and want to share the day and want to do things with me and want to do things for me, I don't want you to be here. And it's vice versa for me. I mean, I'm one of those people. I'm a very optimistic person. I wake up every day. Every day is a beautiful day. Every day, every day. I don't wake up with everything is not wrong and everything is out of the ordinary. Everything is wrong, And I don't look at one side. I always try to look at both sides. I always try to take both people's sides and say, hey, you lying or you lying, both of y'all lying, and then there's the truth. I mean, that's why I cannot be for right now. The one marriage that's in the news is that Papoose and that Remy Ma person. I cannot take Papoose side. Nobody is that perfect. Everything that he's saying cannot be the truth, and everything she's saying cannot be the truth. The truth is the third party somewhere, and both of them. The truth is with whoever's in the middle. He's not right, and she's not right. Because I'm pretty sure no woman just cheats on a man who's done all the things that, according to y'all, he's a saint. He's such a saint. He stood by her. He did all the He's a saint. No, he's not. Only she can tell you that. And I'm saying I don't believe all the stuff that he says because it cannot be true. Nobody's that much of a simp. And she cannot be the horrible person people keep saying she is. Nobody can say that. Only they know. Only they know why they broke up. They know why. I believe it's just a matter of time. And over time, I believe the marriage ended when the cell block door closed. They just dragged it along a couple more years. It just was what it was. When he kept begging her to have a child and she didn't want to have a child, I was like, that marriage ain't going to last. I said that. But it is what it is. People believe what they want to believe. People believe she cheated on him. I know that's not the fact. I know that's not the case. That's not how that works. That's not how marriages work. And if you really have been in a marriage, then you know that's not how that works. Everybody has a fault in why things happen. So for Papoose to come out and say, I'm going to file for divorce because of cheating, he's lying. Not lying. It's just not the truth. But it is what it is. So I don't give a shit about how they do. I know it takes two to make a marriage break down. Anything could have happened. We don't know what the hell. He put his hands on her. He cheated on her. Anything could happen. We don't even know. But everybody got an opinion. Everybody believe what they believe. I believe it's both their faults. A lot of people believe it's her fault. Go ahead and believe that. If you think that's how marriages work, go ahead. Hopefully your marriage is successful and you understand it is both of your fault somewhere, somehow, that this marriage broke down. But that's neither here nor there. We're talking about silent marriages. We're talking about silent divorces. And this is how silent divorce happens. Neglect, emotional neglect, no emotional connection, absence, physical sex, intimacy, leading lives that are not similar, leading lives that don't match or correspond, or communication. All of these things will be the death nail in a relationship if you don't address them. And it is what it is, So this is our silent divorces. And I'm just putting this out there for everybody to see. Thank you for listening.